Tell me Millie's an uninteresting character now. Do it. I dare you. If you do think she's uninteresting, that's okay. I'm just very passionate about this. Ghost Fuckers was the spoopy episode that came out on the spoopy day of the 31st of October. When I tell y'all I have been clawing my eyes out waiting for this episode, I mean it. God, where do I even start? There's just so much to unpack from this episode. I mean, I suppose I can start with the Millie stuff since I loved it so much. First of all, this was one of the only good Millie-based episodes we have gotten so far, if not the only. I'm not sure if I fully remember. Which is why I understand why people were saying she didn't have a whole lot going on with her. Because she didn't really, but that didn't mean she wasn't a good character, you know? However, even when she didn't have that much, I didn't mind that much. She still had character and had wants and needs. However, she did not have a lot of time to herself that wasn't connected to Moxie. So, to a degree, I get it. However, after this episode, if you still keep trying to tell me that Millie isn't interesting and that she isn't her own character, well, I call bullshit on you. I'm sorry. Of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and that's okay, but, still. Now, let me explain a little bit why I think this episode was so good for Millie. First of all, we start off with Millie. Huge win already. Video done. Just kidding. Anyway, the episode starts out with Millie noticing the impact that Blitz's coping is having on the other people on the team. He's hurting his comrades with his sulking, and Millie decides to act upon this. She goes to confront Blitz about this so that the company that they all created together doesn't go up in flames over a relationship. When she does confront Blitz, I will say it's interesting to me how far detached the crew was from his relationship with Stolas. Like, I know that it makes sense when you look at it, but I appreciate them knowing this and not being like, "Aw, poor Blitz, we know how much you loved this bird we saw for like 1 or 2 different times." Instead, she's more like, "Wow, I've never seen you this fucked up over someone." So, noticing that Blitz is a mess still, and she has to be the one to get stuff in order, Millie accepts the job and decides to go on it to save the business. Once Blitz hears the word ghost, he's in. Millie reiterates that ghosts aren't real, which is kind of funny to me. Like, the show with demons, angels, sinners, imps, and literally Satan himself, ghosts is where we draw the line. That's funny to me. Not that there's like anything wrong with that, I just thought it was kind of funny. The two of them go to get the job done at this 1-star hotel where people have been dying lately. Blitz takes up a persona and Millie is mildly irritated/annoyed by him. As they go throughout the hotel, Millie becomes increasingly distressed by him as he doesn't seem to be taking the job seriously or listening to her. Being upset by this, Millie states that she's going to go look for the thing that's been killing people, whether or not Blitz is going to help her, because the business is struggling because of Blitz's actions, and is hurting those around him. The two split up. We're going to pivot to Blitz for a moment here. As we know, Blitz is extremely upset and hurt over the whole situation of what happened with Stolas. He has been deteriorating for the past month and is pushing his business into ruin. I will say, him saying that what they had wasn't a relationship was really sad because, like, it was true. But he was like, you have to be in a relationship to break up. We weren't, and now we won't ever be. And, like, that kind of hurt me because, like, it's obvious that he cares about it now when it felt like he might not have before. Like, it was obvious that he did, but, like, I don't know. Anyway, I will also say I am very, very happy that this is not something that they fixed in one episode. I think it would have ruined a lot of what they are trying to show within this series. However, I do worry a little bit that they may try to drag it out for too long. Hopefully it doesn't get dragged out, but I wouldn't be too surprised about it. Anyway, he's been watching a human show that's called Ghost Fuckers. I'll leave that up to your imagination. However, when he hears the word ghost from the other room, he decides he wants in. It's a fun distraction, after all. Fast forward a little bit to where Millie and Blitz split up. they're in a vent, and let me just say, when Blitz goes off on his own and the goop starts to appear, that made me uncomfortable. Like, usually stuff like this doesn't bother me, but something about that substance and like the way they did that scene, it made me uncomfortable. It made me feel so weird and so off. Gotta say, that was very well done. As Blitz begins to hallucinate, I think he was hallucinating? He begins to see versions of Millie that could have died in past episodes, something that I cannot take credit for figuring out. It's something I found in the comments of the original video. And I just went, wow, you're right. These are also really cool because once again, they're pretty unsettling. Like, they didn't freak me out as much as the goop one did, but they're still pretty neat and I can see how they could be unsettling. The interesting part of this to me is that once again, it's Blitz struggling with his tendency to hurt those around him and cause them pain. The part that really hurts me was when his mom showed up and he ran to hug her. Then she starts to burn up, and this is what gets me, right? He begins to beg it to stop before holding her burning face as it burns away and leaves a skeleton behind, before her eyes pop out and he holds her eye in his hands. Like, y'all, this part really hurts. Like, he's holding her face as it burns up in his hands. Like, come on, if this doesn't hurt you, I really don't know what to tell you. Millie then sees him cowering in the corner as she goes to comfort him. Then he whips around, clear panic beginning to fill his face as he seems to be, like, in a state of panic. Can I just say, like, the way he, like, runs away from her really, like, hurts? The way he's telling her he hurts everyone and makes everything worse. And while he's doing so, he's hiding from her. I can't explain it, but this scene felt really real to me. It felt personal. I don't know how to explain it. Then Millie tells us about how she met Blitz and how he changed her perspective on herself. Just a Rathian was how she used to see herself. But when she met Blitz, he showed her that they were so much more than that and worked hard to deserve to be so. This moment between Blitz and Millie is really important because it helps Blitz realize that not all relationships with his friends have to be sexual. Also, they hold hands and lean on each other here. It's so wholesome, I can't. You know what else is so wholesome? You hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps out and keeps these videos coming out in the future. Anyway, back to the video. Millie also calls Blitz her best friend here, and I loved it so much. It's everything I've been wanting from Millie and Blitz. Blitz says he won't try to be Millie and Moxie's third anymore, which I think is a really big step for him. Say what you will about Helluva Boss, but I will always love it. I've enjoyed a lot of the episodes so far, and I'm so excited to see where it's going to go in the future. I love where it's gone so far, and hopefully Blitz is able to fix himself, because that is something I would really love to see in the future, and it seems to be where the story is going. I was so excited to see more from Millie in this episode, and I'm really hoping that it isn't a one-off thing, because she deserves to have so much more than what she was given originally, and hopefully they don't take that away. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. How did you all feel about this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Kind of in the middle? Leave your opinions in the comments below. I myself really enjoyed the episode and I hope they continue to make episodes like this in the future. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you all next time.